Every year I mark my calendar. Every year I tell myself this time will be different. And every year the phone call comes. My name is Robert Chen, and I'm 73 years old. People call me Grandpa Rob, though these days I wonder if I've earned that title or if it's just something people say out of obligation. I live alone in the house where I raised my daughter, Sarah. My wife Margaret passed 6 years ago, cancer, the kind that moves fast and leaves you standing in an empty kitchen wondering how a person can just disappear from your life like morning fog. The house feels bigger now, quieter. Every room echoes with memories of birthday parties, Christmas mornings, and ordinary Tuesday nights that I didn't know were precious until they were gone. But I'm not here to tell you a sad story about loneliness. I'm here to tell you about birthdays, specifically about the last 8 birthdays I haven't had. It started innocently enough. Sarah called me 2 days before my 66th birthday, her voice tight with that particular strain of guilt and frustration that only comes from trying to please too many people at once. "Dad, I'm so sorry, but we have to reschedule your dinner. Jake's parents have their annual tennis tournament that weekend, and Brad really needs to be there. His dad is getting the Community Service Award, and it would look bad if we didn't show up." I remember sitting in my recliner, the phone pressed to my ear, looking at the calendar where I'd drawn a little star on my birthday. "That's okay, honey. We can celebrate the week after." "You're the best, Dad. I promise we'll make it special." We rescheduled for the following Saturday. That Wednesday, Sarah called again. The tournament had been rained out and rescheduled for, you guessed it, the exact weekend we'd planned my make-up birthday. I know, she said before I could respond. "This is terrible, but Brad's mom is so upset about the whole thing being postponed, and his dad really wants Brad there for the award ceremony. Family is everything to them, you know." I wanted to ask, "What am I?" Instead, I said, "Sure, honey, don't worry about it." That year, I spent my birthday alone. I ordered Chinese food and watched a documentary about World War II. At midnight, I cut myself a slice of the grocery store cake I'd bought, sang a quiet, happy birthday to myself, and went to bed. I told myself it was a fluke, things happen, life gets complicated. But then, year 67 rolled around. This time, it was Jake's parents' golf tournament, their club championship. "Brad is actually playing this year, Dad. It's a father-son thing. His dad has been talking about it for months." Year 68, volleyball tournament. The in-laws were in the finals. Year 69, pickleball invitational. "Did you know Jake's mom is ranked in the state, Dad? This is really important to her." Year 70, a bowling league championship. I didn't even know bowling had championships, but apparently, when you're Jake's parents, every recreational activity becomes an Olympic event. Each year the pattern was the same. We'd make plans. The in-laws would have a tournament. Sarah would call with that apologetic voice that somehow made me feel like I was the one being unreasonable for having been born on an inconvenient date. We'd reschedule. The tournament would be rescheduled. My birthday would disappear like it had never existed. By year 71, I stopped pretending it bothered me. I developed a routine. I'd wait for the call, accept the cancellation graciously, and spend the day doing something I enjoyed. I took myself to museums, went fishing, drove up the coast with the windows down and the radio playing songs from my youth. I told myself I was fine, independent, that I didn't need anyone to celebrate getting another year older. But here's the thing about lying to yourself. Eventually, the truth finds a way through. This year, as my 73rd birthday approached, something shifted. Maybe it was the way autumn light slanted through my kitchen window, reminding me of the birthday parties Margaret used to throw when Sarah was little. Paper streamers, homemade cake, our daughter's face glowing with candlelight. Or maybe it was simpler than that. Maybe I was just tired of being an afterthought. When Sarah called 3 weeks before my birthday to confirm our dinner plans, I heard myself say something unexpected. "Actually, honey, I have plans that day. I'm not available to reschedule this year." Silence on the other end. Then, plans, what plans? Just plans, personal plans. Dad, are you okay? You sound weird. I'm fine. I just wanted to let you know that if we're going to celebrate my birthday, it needs to be on my actual birthday. Otherwise, we can skip it this year. I could hear her intake of breath, the unspoken accusation hanging between us. You're being difficult. Of course, Dad, we'll be there, I promise. Brad's parents have their tennis thing that weekend, but that's fine. Brad can go by himself. This is your birthday. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to believe her. My birthday fell on a Saturday this year. I spent the morning cleaning the house, something I hadn't done for a birthday in years. I dusted the photos on the mantel, Sarah's graduation, our family trip to Yellowstone, Margaret holding baby Sarah in the hospital. I set the dining room table with the good china, the dishes Margaret and I had gotten as wedding gifts and almost never used because we were always saving them for special occasions. I made Margaret's pot roast, her secret recipe with the coffee in the braising liquid that made everything taste rich and deep. The smell filled the house, and for a moment, it felt alive again. Sarah was supposed to arrive at 6. At 5:47, my phone rang. I stood in the kitchen, wooden spoon in hand, and watched it ring. I knew before I answered. I'd known all along, really. Dad, I'm so sorry. Brad's dad fell during the tournament, just a twisted ankle, nothing serious. But Brad's mom is really shaken up, and we need to be there. They're family and they need us right now. You understand, right? We can celebrate next weekend. I promise this time. I looked at the pot roast, at the table set for 3, with the fancy napkins folded into triangles. At the birthday cake I'd picked up from the bakery, chocolate with vanilla frosting, just like Margaret used to make. No, I said. What? No, Sarah, I don't understand. And no, we won't be celebrating next weekend. Dad, that's not fair. Brad's dad is hurt. He twisted his ankle at a tennis tournament, Sarah. He didn't have a heart attack. And even if he had, I'm still your father, and today is still my birthday, and for 8 years, I have been rescheduled, postponed, and cancelled so you could attend your in-laws' recreational sports events. That's not fair. These things are important to Brad's family. And what am I? My voice cracked. What am I to your family? The silence stretched between us like an ocean. I have set this table every year, I continued, quieter now. I've made excuses for you to my friends when they ask why you're never around. I've told myself that you're busy, that you have your own life, that I'm being selfish for wanting one day, one single day, where I'm the priority. But I'm done, Sarah. I'm done being the obligation you can reschedule. Dad, I love you, I will always love you, but I won't be doing this anymore. When you're ready to make me a priority instead of an afterthought, I'll be here. Until then, I need to figure out what birthdays look like when you're not waiting for someone who isn't coming. I hung up. I sat down at the table set for 3 and served myself pot roast. I poured a glass of wine, and I ate slowly, tasting every bite, in a house that felt both emptier and somehow more honest than it had in years. My phone rang 4 more times that evening. I didn't answer. At midnight, I cut myself a piece of cake. I didn't sing happy birthday. I didn't need to, because for the first time in 8 years, I'd shown up for myself. And sometimes, that's the only gift that matters.